Hi everyone. I'm extremely excited to tell you about this new moon in Cancer. If astrology is not your thing, you may want to give this a try anyway, because I'm about to tell you some very hopeful and exciting news about this energy. I put a meditation track in the background, and you can benefit from it by listening to the video with your headphones. There are other videos that are part of what I am explaining here, so you can go to the cards in the corner or look in the description for the playlist link. The next new moon has intense potential to change your life. It's cradled in energy of love and protection. The main frequency is of self-determination that you may have already heard about in other videos on my channel. But what's really relevant is that this self-empowerment is actually motivated through passion and self-confidence. So ask yourself, what are you passionate about? This is the perfect frequency for love, to improve the love you have in your life or to align yourself with new love frequencies around you. There are several major astrological events happening alongside the new moon that will bring massive opportunities in love. I'll tell you about those in a minute, but first is the new moon astrology. The new moon is in Cancer on July 9th on Turtle Island and July 10th anywhere east of that. The new moon is at 18 degrees of Cancer, and this is the first new moon in Cancer since the last eclipse that happened on June 20th, 2020. This is significant because it brings an energy of new beginnings to the sign of Cancer, without the intensity of the eclipse for the first time. Last time, there may have been powerful shifts in your relationships, but they may have been overwhelming and extreme. The North Node transited from Cancer to Gemini on May of 2020. So technically, this is the second new moon since this shift. The eclipse in 2020 happened at 0 degrees of Cancer, which is extremely powerful and transformative. The eclipse changed big things for us around the home. This is the first time in 2 years that we get a more subtle, fresh start in and around the home or primary relationships and with people who we share that familiarity with. This may be a good time to see what has changed in your life since June, particularly what changed in your life with respect to home matters. Did issues get hammered out between you and your family? Did you buy a home? Did you change your living space and revise the environment around you? Other things may have happened at this time, including the nature of your relationships may have changed. You may have taken over care of family members, had a child, or gotten married. Whatever the cycle change that you have experienced was, take some time to appreciate the difference of where you are now in life in comparison to last year. This new moon allows you to focus that appreciation and add something new to the greater life pattern started by the eclipse. The transits and aspect to the new moon are pretty weak and waning in their influence or intensity. The Saturn and Mars with Venus opposition is now moving apart, and so on a personal level, we may have shifted away from being suppressed by structures and institutions in our lives. At the time of the new moon, Venus is already at almost 4 degrees away from the opposition to Saturn and moving fast. Further to this, the square to Uranus is also moving apart from Venus and Mars. The most sensitive part of the transit was the exact position on July 4th. Because of the T-square angle off Saturn, that could have triggered an outburst or some other type of dramatic or explosive event. These transits are dramatic, but most of their intense moments happened before the new moon. The moon is the ruler of the sign of Cancer, And so the fact that it is left mostly alone with the sun for the conjunction allows a lot of clarity to come to us about our feelings and where we have found ourselves in life. You may quickly recognize your most intimate desires and prepare to acknowledge them for the first time. Things like what you really want from your family relationships, or how do you truly feel about the person you have been seeing or thinking about. The strongest angle on this new moon is the aspect between Neptune and Ceres that is applying a sextile to the conjunction between the sun and the moon. Sextiles are powerful because, like new moons, they open up energy to grow into larger aspects like trines. Neptune is in Pisces, Ceres is in Taurus, and the moon and sun are in Cancer. This may incite powerful feelings of grounding one's desires, feeling motivated to recognize your emotional needs, and looking to your environment to fill them. This means you should feel the importance of recognizing your feelings and taking care to assert what you want and use resources in your environment to make what you desire happen. The astrology of the new moon brings in frequencies of self-determination and, more importantly, passion. Passion towards that which you deserve and what you feel best about. In this state of higher self-empowerment, you will feel called upon to rebel against any structures that suppress you from being yourself. Within hours of the new moon, the moon will form an opposition to Pluto, and in doing so, you will very likely feel a deep desire to defend yourself against oppressive forces and naysayers. This opposition to Pluto has already been triggered by Venus and Mars transiting in June. The saying, "the straw that broke the camel's back," may become very relevant here, as your desire for what you love and want may overshadow any fear of retribution and consequences. Let the love pour out of your heart. Step into this authenticity. If you are to get away from oppressive forces that hold you back, be it an institution, a relationship, or roadblocks to a relationship, this type of transit may infuse enough momentum into your spirit to actually successfully do it. Beyond the astrology, there are 3 more major astrological events to consider when looking at the possibility of love in our lives around the time of the new moon. Most of these I have described in other videos, which I will name at the end of each section. You can also find a playlist containing all the videos relevant to this transit in the playlist called July to December 2021 Abundant Love. In those videos, I explained in greater detail the effects of these transits, and I recommend that if you want greater understanding of what's happening, you look to those. The conjunction of Mars and Venus will have a huge impact on love in our lives this year. That is a part of a greater cycle of conjunctions and separations between these 2 planets that orbit around the sun on each side of our planet. The last time Mars and Venus formed a conjunction, it was August of 2019, at which time they joined in Virgo after Venus passed the sun. This conjunction is similar to the way Venus has once again passed the sun in late March and made her way towards Mars. This part of the Venus and Mars cycle has a lot to do with reflections on the past to inform the way we move forward. Over the next 6 months, Venus will motivate us to recognize what we really want in love and learn lessons about what kind of love we need, want, and desire. You may reflect on previous love a lot, at which time those experiences will greatly inform your future love experiences. Some of you may choose to return to a person who you once loved at this time. or spend a lot of time to repair past relationships. If you don't want to go back in love, this is the perfect time to open yourself up to new love opportunities and to use our experiences in love to achieve better outcomes in the present moment. Venus and Mars are joined in the sign of Leo, which is a fire sign. This is the perfect spot for sparks to fly and love to flow in. In 2018, I did a lot of work with Red Tara, a goddess overlooking love. I made a series of videos for you that help in meditation and attaining love. This was done when the North Node was in Leo. As my North Node is in Leo, I was greatly connected to this energy, and I would like to share these videos with you now for your practice meditation that will activate your manifestations for love energy. I feel these 3 Red Tara videos are a perfect complement to the conjunction of Venus and Mars. Other things you may like to do is bring in attention to your heart's desire. Identify what you actually love in life. Think of all the people and things you want to be connected to. With this frequency, it is much better that you disengage from thoughts about limitations and focus on your desires instead. The moon will heighten the intensity of this self-awareness on July 11th when it transits in conjunction to Venus and Mars. If you want to know about the moon's 3 activation points in July, check out the July Astrology Overview video, linked in the Abundant Love playlist mentioned previously. I also talked about Mars and Venus conjunction in the July collective astrology reading, the Capricorn full moon, and the All Signs weekly called First Week of July, which are also linked in the playlist. We can talk about Venus and Mars more over the next 6 months. But for now, I would like to tell you that I will be doing individual zodiac sign readings for love for the rest of the year as the theme for the new moon in Cancer reading. Those will also be included in that playlist, and I will be posting them shortly after I post this video. The second major astrological event influencing the new moon in Cancer activation of love frequencies is the North Node transit along the star Aldebaran. This is a powerful activation that pushes forward towards our authentic destiny. In and of itself, it's not a love transit, but it is a massive amplifier energy to the new moon and Venus and Mars energies. The North Node with Aldebaran will make you feel very convinced about which direction to go, and it will make it very clear to you about which path is truly yours. The conjunction between the true North Node and Aldebaran is active throughout July, and I explained it in more detail in the July collective astrology in the playlist. If you are struggling with claiming your authenticity, or you feel vulnerable when truthfully telling yourself what you want and desire, you may want to try my sunrise meditation that is also available on the playlist I have described. Third major transit that is important for you to know when appreciating the flow flowing in your life at this time is the Syrian portal that begins on July 3rd and carries through to almost the new moon in Cancer on July 9th. The Syrian portal opens when the sun forms a conjunction with the star Aldebaran. This portal is exact on July 5th. The portal connects us with Syrian starseed energy and is a conduit of protection and guidance to the destiny you want to evolve to. The Syrians are known as benefactors of humankind, often stepping in and protecting us from strain and negative situations. I explained the Syrian portal last year on Tarot Talk. You can find this video in the same playlist as the others. I also made a true love activation in alignment with the portal. That's linked as well. To understand the synchronicity of these transits, let's paint a bigger picture of what's going on. The new moon is initiating energy that is largely unaffected by other transits, with the exception of Neptune, which it trines a few hours after the new moon, and Pluto, which it opposes just after that time. The Neptune energy will inspire you to think broader, while the opposition to Pluto will cause you to want to rebel against barriers to love, especially because of the recent transits of Mars and Venus in those same positions. The days following the new moon may be bumpy as the moon enters into harsh angles with the outer planets like Uranus, Pluto, and Saturn. If you hold on through this uncomfortable energy, you will see wonderful results. This is just a confrontation between the outside forces that keep you held back and your newfound initiative to find freedom and love. Love wins always.